Hi everyone, my name's Meg, and today I'm going to go through why you should consider going to university. So, the main things I want to go through are the academic benefits, the employability benefits, and the social benefits of progressing into higher education. Okay, so firstly, let's go through the academic benefits of going to university. So, what I want you to think about is how many subjects do you currently study? Do you study one BTEC? Do you study three A levels? Are you doing an extended diploma? Are you doing an extended project? How many do you currently study? Well, at university, you only have to study one subject, or two if you do a joint honours. So, a joint honours programme is where you might study two subjects, but don't worry, this isn't like doing 2 degrees. This is where you would study half the modules on one course and half the modules on the other. So, if you can't decide which subject you love, you can do two if you want, depending on the university that you go to. Okay, now have a think. How many courses do you think are available to study at university in the UK? So there are over 50,000 different courses to study at universities in the UK. That is so many. So one of the best academic benefits about going to university is that you have so much choice to choose from in comparison to maybe the limited options that sixth form or college might offer. So if you want to go to university, you can study basically anything you want to as long as you meet the entry requirements for those courses. Okay, next question. How many universities do you think are in London and the UK? So we know that there are over 50,000 different courses you can study, but how many institutions do you think offer these courses? So there are 40 higher education providers in London and 395 higher education institutions in the UK. This is amazing. So if you want to leave home and go to a city, you can do. If you want to go live by the seaside, you can do. If you want to go to Scotland or Northern Ireland or Wales, you can do. So no matter what you love to study, you can now choose where you want to study it. As there are so many different options and courses and places that you can study, it's of course really important that you do your research as well. So make sure to check out the UCAS website and other websites which will be able to inform your decision. So sticking along the theme of there's so much to choose from, when you go to university, you can study something that you've studied before. So for instance, if you love science and you love physics and you're currently studying that at A level, you can do that at university. And normally universities will ask that you have physics at A level or equivalent. So that might be another science or something that also covers physics, for example. Likewise, you go on to study English literature, so you might need English at A level or equivalent, or another subject that has essay coursework or transferable skills into English. So, yeah, you can study something that you've already studied before if you love it. However, you could study something that's completely academically new. If you don't like the A levels you're currently studying, or you want to study something that's a bit more specific, university is a perfect opportunity to do so. So, for example, if you love history, but you specifically like the modules that you're studying that focus on war, you can go to university and study BA War Studies. Again, you may be asked for history or another humanities at A level or equivalent. You could even be more specific than that and study something called horology, for example. So this is the making and engineering of watches. So I mean there are so many different degrees out there that you would never have studied academically before, but they are available at university and you can apply for them. So for example, with this one, you'd only need BBC at A level or BTEC or equivalent because universities know that you probably haven't studied these subjects before. So definitely have a look and see what degrees are out there because they don't have to be something that you've studied before. Finally, you can go and study something that facilitates a specific career, so a degree that puts you in a specific field or specific sector. For example, you can go do ethical hacking. You may need an A level in computer science or maths or similar, but again, this is very much something academically new, but it also gives you a specific career in ethical hacking. Likewise, you can go study BSc Equestrian Psychology in Sports Science. Again, you might need a science or a sports science equivalent. So if you've done sport and it has some science modules, that would be fine. So all these different degrees that I'm bringing up are just examples that I found on UCAS. They're not specific to St Mary's, but do have a look at the UCAS website for other degrees like this. And one that you may have heard of before, which is BA International Events Management. So there are loads of event management or hospitality degrees if you want to go into that sector or that line of work. But it's important to remember that all the degrees I've shown here, whether they're something that's academically familiar or not, can still lead you into good careers because you can get transferable skills, which I'll talk about in just a moment. Another academic benefit of going to university is that you're taught by experts in the field you love, with classmates who love it too. So if you're, in a lesson that you don't really like right now and you can't wait to drop it, and your friends feel that way too, well, when you go to university, everybody loves that subject and everybody wants to be there. And you're being taught by people who have published in the field, who are experts in what you're studying. So the conversations and just the vibe around studying a subject that you love is so much different at university. Plus, because your lecturers are experts in the field, they're going to have so many good connections. So, in terms of career, you're already starting to build connections and networking once you go to university. And finally, you have exposure to world-class facilities and research. So every university will have facilities that are special to them. So at St Mary's, for instance, we have world-class sporting facilities, which Olympic athletes such as Mo Farah use, for example. So every university will have their own special, unique facilities and research centres, which you should definitely check out before applying to university. Okay, so next we're going to go through the employability benefits of going to university. So in 2017, 73.9% of graduates went into professional jobs within 6 months of graduating. It's important to note here I'm using data from 2017 as this is the most recent data released. So if you're wondering where the other 30% of graduates went, well 21.5% of them went into further study within 6 months of graduating. So this means they gained the correct qualifications to go and progress onto a master's course, such as an MA or an MSc. This is fantastic for those graduates because gaining a master's degree in your field will only improve your chances of employment. Furthermore, the average salary for graduates in full-time employment in the UK was £22,399 within 6 months of graduating. To give this some more context, graduates and postgraduates have higher employment rates than non-graduates, and on average they earn £10,000 more a year. So I touched on this a bit earlier, but if you go on to do a degree that doesn't specifically facilitate a career, such as history or English or geography, degrees which you can send you into loads of different fields, the best thing here is that you gain loads of transferable skills that you can put on your CV and use in interview, such as you'll be gaining research skills, textual analysis, persuasive writing, all from the research and essay writing that you'll do throughout your degree. This is the same for some scientific degrees which also might not facilitate a specific career, such as doing biology, maths or chemistry. Again, you'll get some data analysis skills, you'll have developed skills in logic. There are so many different transferable skills you can get from doing degrees at university. So don't be put off by thinking that you might not come out with a specific career because you'll be extremely qualified for a lot of roles in a lot of sectors. So here is just a list of a couple of professions that you do need a degree to go into. So to be a teacher, you'd have to go and do a degree which gives you qualified teacher status. To be a doctor, you'd have to do a degree as well. To be a lawyer, you'd have to do an LLB. To be a social worker, a nurse, an architect, all those different things. So make sure if you already have a career in mind, you understand the qualifications you need to be able to go into that field or sector. So, a lot of people may be put off from going to university to do the humanities degree that they love because they don't believe it will facilitate a specific career. But hopefully, today I've given you an idea of all the transferable skills you can gain and all the different areas that you can go into. To support this further, 10 years after graduation, the income difference between humanities graduates and graduates from other university programs is no longer statistically significant. Humanities graduates can earn even higher incomes if they obtain an advanced or professional degrees, so for example doing a master's or an MSc. So there's no difference, so make sure you do the subject that you love. And finally, I'm now going to go through the social benefits of going to university. So, what is a society and who are the Students' Union? So, the Students' Union is there to represent you whilst you're at university. If you have any issues with your lessons or the way things are going at university, they're the people that you would speak to get your voice heard. But they also put on great events throughout the year, including freshers. They also look after the clubs and societies that are available at university. Clubs and societies at university really vary, and you can basically have a society on anything you want, and as long as you get enough people to join your society. I have a couple of examples for you now. So, for instance, University of De Montfort has an extreme ironing society. So basically, they get together and iron in extreme places. At Durham, they have the Assassin Society. So I think it's basically a big game of hide and seek. And now, probably my favourite one, which happens at so many different universities, and I wish I made one at St Mary's when I was there. But you can join the Quidditch Society or make your own Quidditch Society. Essentially, they run around on brooms and they have to get the quaffle through the hoop like they would in Harry Potter. And someone dresses up as a snitch and runs around the pitch for the players to catch, which is crazy. But I love it, and it's actually played between different universities because it's that popular. So essentially, the point is here no matter what your hobbies or what your interests, there's something at university for everyone. And if there isn't, you can create it. And it looks great on a CV too if you've become the president or the leader of your own club or society. One of the most important social skills you gain from going to university is independence. You learn how to be independent because you have to learn independently, you have to start going to lessons independently. Like, your teachers aren't always going to chase you like they might do currently at sixth form in college. You have to manage your time, you have to manage your expenses. So university is a great opportunity to really develop yourself and gain independence in day-to-day life. Plus, a lot of universities offer study abroad programs. So if you want to go away for a semester or for a year to a different university to study your degree, you can do. Make sure to check out the websites of the universities you're applying to see what they offer on their study abroad schemes. And finally, if none of this presentation sold you about going to university, 1 in 5 people find the love of their life and the person they spend the rest of their life with at university. So maybe that's the winner for you. Okay, and to quickly recap why you should consider going to university. You get to study what you love. You're taught by experts and you can become the expert yourself. You get to use incredible facilities and do research with these experts in the field that you love too. There are loads of employment opportunities from going to university, both whilst you're there and once you graduate. You also meet like minded people and you meet friends for life at university, people who study and enjoy what you love as well, whether that's on your course or whether it's part of a club or society that you join. And finally, you gain independence. So, I hope this presentation was useful and that you have learnt more about why you should consider going to university. If you have any questions at all or you'd like to get in touch with us, please do visit our website www.stmarys.ac.uk for more information. Thank you so much for listening and good luck.